Good afternoon. Welcome to Jim Munley's World of Weather. Clicked on to long-range weather forecast discussion for November 26th through December 10th. For December 26th to the 30th, this is what we're expecting the flow to look like. We'll have a split flow here across the country. We still have above normal heights here building in the Northeast Pacific, and we have our upper low or trough in the southern stream on the southern plains. Now, during this period, we'll take a look at this at the surface. We will have an upper low and a surface low that will be developing here over the southern plains. And the surface low will lift quickly from the lower Mississippi Valley to the Great Lakes region this weekend. So here it is at the surface. We'll look at the GFS first. And here it is, and it'll be spreading a wide swath of rain across the east, maybe some snow on the backside. That's the GFS. And here's the European. Okay, and notice with the there might be a little snow, less snow with the European, because here is the 540 line right here. And here is the European ensembles, pretty much in agreement. And here's the Canadian. Also, we want to look here is the ensembles here. This is the GFS ensembles. And if we watch, we can see the rainfall amounts. This is forecast to be impressive. See some areas reaching the red, over like 1 to 2 inches. And then it spreads to the east and northeastward over the weekend, lesser amounts. And then we'll look at the, I think this is the European. Oh, we're going to take a look at the European snowfall forecast and see how much snow the areas will get. You got to bear with me and try newer maps. So there'll be snow down in Texas. This is a rare snowfall. Friday, Saturday. The ensemble show very little snowfall. Now we'll take a look at the other models. This is European. We'll show you how they're in agreement. This is the ensembles with the surface low track. And you can see, we'll show you how they're all like kind of clustered together. So it's pretty good. Might show ability of another low developing offshore, but that looks like it's all over the place. That might not happen. And we'll take a look at the, let's see. At the European, the GFS, see how it's in agreement. And you see the surface lows will cluster together. The GFS is not quite as clustered as the European, but it does all lift through the Great Lakes region during this time and no secondary development. So this looks to be produce a wide area of rain across the southeast with some localized flooding may be possible, and farther north across the Mississippi Valley, Tennessee Valley, and Mid-Atlantic later in the weekend. And I showed you before, snow would be possible in the higher elevation of the interior northeast. So we're expecting above normal precipitation from the southern plains, lower Mississippi Valley, the southeast, and the lower mid-Atlantic. And then we'll have a large area of above normal temperatures across the northern Rockies into parts of the plains of Mississippi Valley and then to the mid-Atlantic coast. Okay, now we're going to look at the period for December 1st to the 5th. And we don't see much change. And the models in agreement are still forecasting a ridge here, trough in the west, above normal heights, zonal flow here, or west-southwest flow across the east central states. So I'm forecasting for this period above normal, below normal temperatures here, and I'm calling for anomalies to be up 4 to 8 degrees below normal, above normal temperatures for this region, with anomalies of 4 to 6 degrees above normal for precipitation. Calling for above normal precipitation here. Probability of occurrence near 40%, below normal precipitation for much of this region. Probability of occurrence is 35%. Going to December 6th to the 10th. Again, don't see much change overall. We still have our nearly zonal flow here across the east central states. Still have our ridge here over the northeast Pacific, trough here. And this doesn't change very much. So for this forecast period, I am calling for little change in temperature anomalies, and for precipitation, calling for above normal precipitation here, probability of occurrence there 40%, and then we have below normal precipitation here, probability of occurrence near 35%. Another thing I want to take a look at here is, let's see if we can get this to work, is the teleconnections. Now we're going to look at the EPO, and here's EPO, and the let me see how to read it. Okay, this is the mean. It remains below normal, and then we have the control is a positive EPO. This is by the European. Now, if we look at the GFS, it is also positive, and the mean remains just about neutral. But one thing we want to look at here is the Arctic oscillation, and this is the mean. Now, this is the control, but the mean remains below normal here. So we have a negative EPO, and then the NAO is also negative. And if we look at, let's see, if we look at the GFS, the European, it's also negative with the Arctic oscillation. So the pattern isn't quite, the flow isn't quite picking up on the trends that the teleconnections are seeing. So as I always like to do is take a look at what's going on over in Asia, of course. So let me get the models. If you could just bear with me. I usually like to look at Eastern Asia. Let's see how fast it takes to load. Or is it going to load? Oh boy. Oh, it's starting to load. We start seeing we have this trough here like yesterday, showing that a trough is starting to build back here across Asia. We'll see how far that goes. It looks like it tries to lift back into Eastern Asia. I'm running out of time here. And you can see we're starting to have a trough across Eastern Asia during this time. So it's still the teleconnections are not catching up with the flow here. So I think there's going to be a major pattern shift again to bring cold back into eastern U.S. And there are talks about a possible stratospheric warming event that'll be happening in the first week of December. We'll see how that goes. I might have more on that tomorrow. I got to see. But here's our trough. So that's it for now. That's the long-range weather forecast discussion for November 26th through December 10th. Thanks for coming to Jim Munley's World of Weather, and have a good Thanksgiving.